Okay. Good morning, guys. How are you? Good to have you here. All right. So the idea is to shoot immediately. The idea is to shoot immediately. Yesterday we talked about money. Why money flies? Why does money fly? That's what we discussed yesterday. That's what we discussed extensively yesterday. Okay. So you will find out that rich people always have this fear of money finishing. Okay, people who have made a lot of money understand that. I mean, I've had the privilege to work with people who have a lot of money, and do stuff with them, and I can tell you categorically speaking that every one of them, especially people in the real estate sector that I am, very, very much used to, and I understand a lot of integrity about it, okay? And bulk of the millions that I have made in the past 2 years, have been about real estate. So I can tell you categorically here that people who have a lot of capital, which of course real estate industry demands, always want to have an ongoing project. They will tell you that project is money, that without project there's no money. So it does not matter that they actually have billions in their account. They understand very well they understand very well that if money, Jenny Stacko, you are the first person to join this morning. I came online straight and I didn't even stop, so I just kept talking. So I'm doing a recap from yesterday. Okay, so they realized that money in the bank is useless. Money in the bank is useless. To have money for them, you have to have something ongoing. You have to have a project that is ongoing. You have to have an investment that is ongoing. There has to be something that you are spending money on. That is the only way to guarantee that you will have money. Okay? And people who have proper accounting section for their personal self, for their company, always ask the accountant, are we too liquid? Are we too liquid? Because the accountant understands that there's a trap in being too liquid. Okay? When they tell you that Jeff Bezos is worth over $200 billion, they're not telling you that he has $100 billion stock somewhere or stacked somewhere. No, they're telling you that the money that he has sent on errand and the money that he has not sent on errand, they are worth over $200 billion. In fact, what they're telling you is that, okay, in this guy's account, the money that he has not sent on errand, that is about to send around, may not even be up to $2 billion. Sometimes they have less. These people that you see that are extremely very, very rich have very, very low liquidity. That is to say, the money that they have right now that is not on any particular errand or purpose is always minimal. Okay? It is only poor people that look at their bank account to know whether they are rich or not. If you still look at your bank account to know whether you are rich or not rich, okay, so you have work to do. Yeah, so you have work to do. You have to now work because you have a lot to do. You should begin to see your wealth based on errands, based on money errands. How much has gone out to do what for you? That is what determines that you're healthy. And I also explained yesterday that money is a restless servant. I explained to you very much yesterday that money is a restless servant, and what you need to do is to give it purpose, okay? That you cannot stop money from flying. Keeping some digits in your account that you have not decided upon does not mean that the money is there, okay? As long as other people are transacting around you. I'm telling you, this is crazy. Imagine having money in the account, and then as long as people are transacting around you, your money keeps flowing. It either increases slowly or depletes slowly. Okay, so understand that you cannot stop money from flying. What you can, however, do is that you can give money purpose. You can tell money what to fly with, and where to fly to. What to fly with, where to fly to, and what to do wherever you send it to fly to. So the point is, you can give money instructions, and when you give money instructions, it follows instructions to letter. Okay, so the risk here is for people who do not know that money is a servant. Okay, That's why people say, don't let money rule you. Don't let money rule you. Don't let something that's supposed to be your servant become your master. Okay, that's the phrase that they use for people who misbehave. Okay. All right. So this morning I'm going to be talking about money, the game of influence. I'm going to be talking about money, the game of influence. Money, the game of influence. All right. So remember when I was talking, I was telling you about what's that thing that I was telling you about? So I was telling you about Soup Express Kitchen. You're welcome. I was telling you about money, the game of numbers. Remember when I was telling you about money, the game of numbers? Okay. All right. So as it is, they call something precept upon precept. Okay. So you build one block and then you put another block on top of it, and then you put another on top of it, and then you build another, and then before you know it, you have a full house. Okay. So it's always going to be a brick on brick concept. There is nothing in life that is wonderful that was not brick on brick. Okay. To find a tall tree, you have to have it growing one bit after the other, one after the other, one after the other. Nothing is going to get off the ground if it keeps spreading on the ground. So something has to be on top of each other. So anytime you see a concept of something that is tall, is always going to be a concept of precept or precept. That is why everything that we have been saying on this live, they all link themselves. Yemi, you're welcome. Yemi, you're welcome. They all lean on themselves. We always have to build on one thing. Okay, so even in Christianity, there's what you call the founding apostles. Okay, yeah, that's what we call the founding apostles. So nobody's going to go and become apostle anymore. We're going to have to build on what they have done over 2,000 years ago. Okay, and that's how it goes. That's how it goes. You can't say, this thing is about Jesus, so we are not reckoning with Peter or Paul. It's impossible. Say this thing about Jesus, so we don't know anybody that is Matthew. It's impossible. Let's say this thing about Jesus, so we don't know anybody that is Jude, or you don't know anybody that is John the Beloved or John the Baptist. No, it's not possible. Okay, so you must understand precept on precept. So that takes me to the point about when I was telling you about money being the game of numbers. You remember very clearly that I told you that number, when it comes to money, number is the magic. Number is the magic representation for money. Number is the magic representation for value. There is no way you could value if there were no numbers. You have to always put numbers there. Okay? If your value is in weight, you still have to represent it in number. If your value was in money, you still have to represent it in currency, number. Okay? If your value was in height, you still have to represent it with number. So even you can't say meter. You have to still put number. 12 meters, 1 meter, 2 kilometers, 4 kilometers, 500 kilometers, 2 miles. You still have to put numbers there. No matter what the tag is, numbers are the magic representation. And you must understand, I told you that you must understand, you must have what I call the positive number effect. PNE. Who remembers well? Remember, okay, I told you about the positive number effect, okay? So the idea there is that you must understand what relationship should be with number. Know when the numbers should increase, and know where the numbers need to drop. For example, if you are looking at your BP, you know that your numbers have to drop. So what are the things that drop the number of your BP? Okay, so what do you need to do? Healthy lifestyle. That's you having positive relationship with number when it comes to your BP. When it comes to digits in your account, which was what we were all about at the point in time, what you need to pay attention to is your KOY. How many people knows you? You remember when I told you about the doings of the money maker? Okay, and the doings of the money maker, I told you that a money maker builds. A money maker does what? Build. You build. That reminds me, we have not talked about the game of compounding. The game of compounding, I mentioned something about compounding before and I have not talked about it. So I need to talk about the game of compounding. Oh my God, this is going to be interesting. Money, the game of compounding. I'm putting it down. Okay, because I don't want to forget. We need to do this. Modalba, you're welcome. Modalba, you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. So I'm going to have to speak about money, the game of compounding at some point in time. I already have this. So we are doing money, the game of influence today, and I'm just laying the foundation for that. We are going to do money, the game of words, money, the game of process, money, the mind game, and then money, the game of company, and then money, the game of compounding. So it's going to be awesome. It's going to be really, really awesome. So this morning, I was trying to explain to you how we always have to build on one thing and the other. We have to put brick upon brick, brick upon brick, what the Christians call precept upon precept. That's how you build anything that's going to stand tall and stand. Alright, so there's absolutely no problem with that. It's a fundamental human development principle. Things have to be built upon things, otherwise nothing will stand, otherwise nothing will be up there. Okay, so I try to take you back to the two things I have discussed on this platform. I have discussed the game of number. I also discussed the doings of the money maker. Okay, and I explained to you expressly that what you need to be building are things that are not physical. Okay, the things that are not physical, they are the things that always determine the physical things. Okay, so if you see a guy who has big houses, he has built a lot of things that are not physical. Oh, this is crazy. Okay, yeah, so the size of what you have built that is not physical determines the size of what you have that is physical. I've took time to explain that, so I don't necessarily want to go back into explaining that. Okay, now what I want to do this morning is that I want to show you what influence means. Okay, I want to show you what influence is. So I say it's an influencer, we've used that word fearlessly now because of social media. Okay, but the idea is that there's always influence everywhere. There's always influence in politics, there's influence in the market, there's influence in social media, there's influence. The family, there's influence. On the church, there's influence. In the mosque, influence everywhere. Influence everywhere. Okay, so let's assume that, like I asked you to do, you evaluated what your KOY is, and you say, okay, this is the number of people that knows me. This is the number of people that knows me. Let's assume that there's Abdul, known by 10,000 people, and then there's Pius, known by 10,000 people. So both Abdul and Pius are known, KOY, either what they do or themselves personally. They are known by 10,000 people all over the world, all their life. The total people who have ever known anything about them was 10,000 people. Let's assume that was true, that they were only known by 10,000 people, each of them. I told you, there was this equation that I gave you, remember, okay, about how your KOY to your money is a constant, okay, that your money, total money that you have in this life is directly proportional to the total number of KOY that you acquire, which means total money in bank, total money of life equals to K into brackets, total number of KOY. Alright, remember that we said that. Very good. Okay, so everybody's constant, everybody's K, constant K, always differs. Okay, I wish I had a board there, and I have a board. I think I need to start mounting a board there so that I can say these things and show you. All right, it's getting a bit technical. Okay, so but let's continue. Okay, so now everybody's constant will differ. All right, everybody's constant will differ. For example, if your constant was 2, you make a lot of money than the person whose constant is 0.5, which means that some people can make 5 naira from every person that they know. So people can make 5,000 naira from 5 naira from every person that they know every month. For example, if you know 10,000 people and you make 5,000 naira from them every month, it means that you make 5 times 10. Okay, that means you make 50k from them every month. Okay. But some people can make 5,000 naira from everybody that they know every month. Okay, so what does that tell you? It tells you that there's a difference between influence. People can know the same number of people, or the same number of people can know Abdul and Pius. But what will determine the money that Abdul and Pius makes depends on their constant, and that constant now is called influence. Okay, and that constant now is called influence. That constant now is called influence. All right, so why is influence important? Influence is important because there's people knowing you or what you do. There's you being able to make them to buy into you, or to buy into what you sell, or to buy into your services, or to buy into your recommendation, or to buy into your decisions, or to buy into supporting you, whatever it is, or to give themselves to you. Okay, so it will always come down to influence at the end of the day, when you have amassed the numbers, the question will now be, can you influence the number in your favor? Alright, so you realize that as much as money is a game of KOY, like these people knowing you, and I've explained branding about 2 days ago. Alright, so even if you have good branding, is your branding influential? Is your brand influential? Because you understand that it is not just enough to have brand, you must also wield influence. Okay, I've explained to you whether you like it or not that somebody like cross-dressers, popular cross-dressers on social media are making more money than a lot of people. Why? Because of KOY, and then not just KOY, also because of influence. Because some cross-dressers make money than some cross-dressers. Okay, all right. There were some that are gone ahead of some, and then some are here. All right. So the question is your brand influential? Now, so somebody can say to me, okay, so this influence thing, Doc, you need to break it down. Doc, you need to break this influence thing down. You need to break it down. You need to break it down. All right, let me break it down for you because it's very, very simple. First of all, influence has to be subtle. What did I say? Influence has to be subtle. Influence has to be subtle. It has to be subtle. What do I mean by subtle? You can't do influence by gra-gra. You can't do influence by shouting. You can't influence by shouting and be dragged away. No, if you shout, you are going to become a nuisance. Okay? So even if you are shouting, it has to be that you are singing. I hope you understand that what's it called now? What do you call that thing now? Parable. Okay? Influence has, if you cannot force influence, it has to be subtle. Which means that the person who you are about to influence must not know that you are influencing them, or must not know that you are influencing them, or you must not rub it in their eyes. Otherwise, you are going to become a nuisance. Which means that influence is not in shouting. However, if you must shout, you must be shouting about something else other than influence. Okay? For example, if you want to influence people into maybe following you out for a protest, you don't say, all of you, I am the leader, follow me. No, you don't say that. You don't say that. You rather will say, oh, we have to fix this country. We have to fix this country. We have to fix this country. And you keep shouting, you have to fix it, and then they follow you. But you don't say, all of you, it means that you will follow. It means that all of you will follow. It means that you can't shout about influence and then get influence. No, if you must get influence, you have to shout about something else. Preferably, you have to be singing, which means that you have to sound sweet to the senses. Okay? You have to sound sweet to the senses. Now, I said all of that to establish to you that influence has to be subtle. 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 Okay? Very good. Now, when you now understand the concept of it being subtle, you now go further. Okay? Now, it is subtle because they must not see you coming. They must not know that that is what you're going to do. Influence is a byproduct of these following things. Let me tell you. Influence is a byproduct of the following things. Number one, proving that you know better. Proving that you know better. Okay? You know how they always say, follow person with Sabi road. Very good. You want people to follow you somewhere, you have to prove that you know where we are going. Either that you've been there before, or whether you have a map that you rely on, or whether you have some confidence. Point is, you have to prove that you know better. You necessarily may not know better, but you have to prove that you know better. Okay? Proving that you see better. Inoyola, you're welcome. Wife of Dr. You're welcome. Good to have you. Okay, so proving that you see better. Proving that you see better. Okay, so when people say, what's happening? I say, don't worry, I know what's happening here. I don't listen to you because you know what's happening here. So that means that you see better. Okay, better perception, better discernment, better judgment. Okay, that's the goal. That's the goal. You have to also be able to prove that you have better results. Proving that you have better results. Proving that you have better results. Okay, proving that you understand life better. Proving that you understand life better. Proving that you understand life better. Okay, all right. Proving that you are better. Proving that you are better in subtle ways, generally speaking. Proving that you are better. You don't say, look, I'm better, look, I'm better. No, you just have to do things that you say, oh, guy, this guy is better. But boy, you know, things like that. Yeah. So that's what you do. That's what you do. In fact, this also goes with for your business. Everything that I've mentioned here also works for your business. So it's not just for your personal life as we were. Okay? It works exactly also for your business. Prove that you love them better. Okay? Prove that you love them better. Prove that you love anybody. Prove that you love them better. Okay, so there are love languages. There are 5 written in a book. There are several others of love language, the way people feel love and express love. What you must do is that you must express better. All right, Proving that you can relate better. Praise Aderoba, you're welcome. Good to have you. Prove that you can relate better. Prove that you can relate better. When I say relate, I'm talking about you can empathize better. You can understand what they are going through. Okay? So when you begin to touch things that affect people, you begin to wield influence. Alright? Now, there is no influence without visibility, and there is no influence without the voice. So all of these things must be represented in two V's. Must be represented in V square. Voice and visibility. All of these things must be represented in two things. V squared, voice and visibility. Voice and visibility. Okay? There is no influence without these two ingredients. Alright? There is no influence without this. So you put all of these things into voice and visibility. That you know better, that you see better, that you have better results, that you understand life better, that you are better, that you love them better, and that you can relate about their life better. Okay? So when you make this into subtle messages, what you now need to do is to give it all your voice and give it all of the visibility that you can muster. There is no two ways about this. There is no other shortcut to influence. Nobody. Go and check. Anybody that has influence is visible or has a voice. You understand? Even if they stay in the background. Even if they stay in the background, there has to be somebody who listens to them. Okay? Alright, so people have said that there are some people influencing, maybe, for example, our government, for example, and say this person is a key person. How does the person become key? How do you think the person became key? Because the person has done all those things I mentioned better and has proven his or herself in that light. Okay, so Umpex Boss Digital, you're welcome. Good to have you. Good to have you. Good to have you. Alright, so what's your task for today? What is the task for today? What is the task for today? The task for today is quite simple. Okay, I've been doing well. I've been trying to stay within 30 minutes. I'm very, very happy with myself because I don't want this live to go beyond 30 minutes because I want to give you the points and I want you to, start applying them immediately. Okay, so apply them. So what's your task today? What is your task today? Your task will be that you're going to identify one or two areas where you want to be a leader, a thought leader. Okay, so in this space, if they're mentioning 10 people in this space, in this country or in my city or in my local government, you determine the environment, I need to be a thought leader. So you have to pick about two subjects, whether it is the business of logistics. So if you're talking about business of logistics, they must be able to mention my company. Or if you're talking about this kind of thing, if they're mentioning marriage or love, something, they have to be, that's influence. Okay, that is influence. So you must pick two areas and the sphere of those two areas where you want to be known, where you want to have influence, and then of course you already know what the second task is. The second task is you must outline three ways. Yeah. Oh yes, Lagos Saturday 11 a.m. Yeah. Don't worry, I'm going to be there live. I'm going to be there. It's going to be really interesting. Don't worry, it's going to be interesting. I'm looking for it as well. I'm looking forward to it as well. Okay, so that's that. So identify two areas, that's one or two areas where you want to be thought leader, and then outline three things that you will do daily to make sure you achieve that. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. I'm rooting for you guys. Kudos to everybody. Kudos to me. We've shown up every day for the last 15 days. Kudos. I'm noticing the regular people here. I think people like Peter Bless and Soup Express Kitchen have not missed any day. Okay, I think Soup Express Kitchen missed a day or two, but I think that Peter Bless has been online for every day. I'm not sure, but I'll find out. But there's a special gift for everybody. Anyway, even you people, you will tell me now. You tell me who, they have not missed anything. I hope you are saving screenshots. I told you people to be saving screenshot of the live. Good thing about screenshot is that screenshot will have the text. If you go and screenshot on Instagram after I posted it, you don't have the text that people wrote on the screen. Okay, so one day I'm going to ask you to submit your screenshot, 49 screenshot. So we will see whether you can submit your 49 screenshots. And we'll grade everybody. But you guys have been awesome. I must say that you guys have been awesome. So thank you very much. Thank you so much. I love you guys. So I'll see you tomorrow for 8:30. This is getting more interesting by the day. I'm telling you, this is getting more interesting by the day. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. I love you. I'm rooting for you. I am particularly interested in your success. No, don't worry now. Opex Boss Digital, don't worry. We got you. Don't worry. We got you. Don't worry. Don't worry. All right. Bye.